Evolutionarily speaking, when it comes to the sexes, there's always going to be a sex that has one advantage and a sex that has another advantage. But with every advantage comes a cost, an evolutionary cost. And we're going to be talking about what are women's kryptonite based on the evolutionary advantage that they inherently have. All right. So that's the topic of today. If you're a man watching this, then you could use these weaknesses to tailor your seduction, the seduction of a woman, to her weaknesses, to her unfulfilled needs, because most women have these needs. And if you know how to trigger these needs through some of the strategies that I teach on this channel, knowing this information will be invaluable. So let's begin. So remember, with every advantage comes a disadvantage. All right. With every strategy, there's a fallback. There's always a negative behind everything. Think of men. A man's strength is his weakness, which is his testosterone. A man with high testosterone and a high sex drive can be easily manipulated by a woman who uses her femininity against him. And it's called a honey trap. A lot of guys have been killed. A lot of guys like me have been mugged through honey traps. That's right, people. I'll tell you that story another time. The one time where I got mugged in Mexico by two dudes who were posing as women. So let's talk about what are the weaknesses, women's weakness. So the first kryptonite that women have is her desire to accumulate resources for her children. It's like, when you see a dog take a shit and they kick their legs back even though they don't need to, right? The same with women acquiring resources. It's an instinct that they have. It's like a scorpion biting something. And the reason why is because all of the women who passed on their genes, all of her ancestors had that trait. That's why they were able to pass on their genes. They looked for resources. So their brain is wired for that because they're the descendants of the females that use those strategies. So to women, having resources and social status is a necessity, not just for them, but also for their offspring. It's important. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity for women. They get pregnant and need a man who isn't broke, right? So one of the weaknesses is when you see a man who have a lot of resources, all right? There's something in you that's going to be triggered where you'll want to be with him. And if you're and this relates to men, where if you see if a woman sees you and you have resources, she'll do a lot of crazy shit to be with you because it's evolutionarily to an advantage, right? And so what happens is that your amygdala, the part of the brain that wants safety, the part of the brain that's always looking out for threats, will see this as a way to eliminate a threat. And as a result, it'll hijack her brain and make her hyper focused to get that resource. And so it opens up the door for manipulation. It opens up the door for her to do shit that she normally wouldn't do just for money or resource, either directly through, like some women do, sex work, or through finding a rich husband or finding a guy who has high status who could potentially give her resources. They'll do crazy shit just to get his attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing, the desire for resources. And the reason why is because that's a woman's number one priority. If she has a child, she needs to get resources, not to enrich herself, but to give it to her kids, right? So the next one is this: birth control. Birth control. Birth control changes a woman's mating strategy. They are okay with they become more okay with short-term relationships and have less fear of pregnancy. It changes everything of them fundamentally. Even though we have improved evolutionarily, we have improved as a human species in terms of how we live, those wiring evolutionarily are still strong within us. So if a woman, let me say why this is a big kryptonite for women. Because when you're a woman and you're on birth control, studies have shown that they like men who are more feminine. And they end up marrying that guy, as an example, because their preferences change from more masculine men to more feminine men. They end up marrying that guy and having kids with him. And when you have kids, a lot of these women stop taking birth control. But then what happens is that their bodies will then reacclimate. Their hormones will go back to normal relatively. and their desire for a masculine guy goes up, and their desire for a feminine guy goes down. And the issue happens is that all of a sudden, without knowing why, they find their man that they're with unattractive now, because their attraction for feminine man isn't really innate to most of these women, and they end up finding themselves in a conundrum where they're with a man they don't love, they're with a man they don't even find attractive, and so they end up cheating or divorcing earlier than they should, you know. And that's a problem, because it creates those types of situations that I know are very awkward, and it's something that most people don't want to be in. And yeah, birth control, man. And the reason, and it goes, and the next one goes down with this topic, is that women are attracted to alpha men, and in a certain way, that is their kryptonite. They may say it's not. They may say they find it toxic, but they're attracted to that. Women are turned off by men who are dominated by other men. I mean, if they say I don't want an alpha man, then go ahead and be like, okay, so you want a man? So would you want a man that is always physically being dominated by other men? And imagine being with a guy. What would you prefer? Seeing a guy get dominated by other men, or seeing your man dominate other men? What do you prefer? Right? That's just in their DNA. Right? So women are turned off by men who are dominated by other men who don't get respect by other men, and that's why as a man, we have to focus on getting respect from other men, because other women see the fact that other men don't respect us. They can tell. An eligible man isn't a man who's single, but a man who has resources and isn't giving it to other women. Right? So that's what you have to realize, is that just because you're single, like me as a guy, right? Just because I'm single don't mean I'm eligible. I'm actually, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm eligible. I got, I got money, I'm eligible. I may be broke, but I'm eligible. No, you're not, because you don't have resources and you're not wanted by other women. So that means you're not eligible. That's what makes an eligible man. And a lot of women complain and say, oh, there are no eligible men. And men say, oh, but all these guys are single. What she's saying is that, oh, you guys are not eligible. Yeah, you guys are there, but and the reason why she says that is because she has so many options that her standards are not realistic. When in reality, all of these men are eligible, but your standards are so fucking beyond the roof, beyond reason, that you naturally see them as unavailable. No, that you naturally see them as just a fork in the road, getting in the way. You know? And so they want a guy with resources simply because women, by getting with a guy with resources, is one of the most proven ways for women to climb up in life. And so the next kryptonite is that women desire status, like I said. And one of the best ways to get status is to marry a guy with status. Why do women marry up? Evolutionary resources. Right? But naturally, when you marry up, this leads to her having to compete and keep the guy that she married. So it's not just women wanting alpha men, but it's also women keeping the guy, because it takes a lot of resources to keep the guy, because he might cheat. And that's a fact. There's other women want him. So it's not just the fact that you want the most attractive guy, which is a problem in my opinion, but it's also you got to waste a lot of evolutionary energy to keep him. So it doesn't end at getting him. You also have to keep the motherfucker. Right? Because a lot of these women because a lot of women in general just want ambitious men. But this also leads to women having to compete with their love. So when you date a guy who's alpha, most likely this guy will have passions that he loves in life. Maybe he likes photography. Maybe he loves his career. And you find that attractive, but at the same time, it's actually the one thing that could separate you, because he actually loves his career more than you do, more than he loves you a lot of the times. Right? A lot of men will pick their careers over their family. Most women wouldn't do that. But they find that attractive, because if he didn't love his career so much, you wouldn't find him attractive. So it's a kryptonite. It's like, it puts you in a very tough position as a woman. And it's an advantage that us men have. And if a man notices these types of things, if you notice these types of things in a woman, then you could use it against her. And a lot of times you don't have to really possess these traits. You just have to look like you have those traits. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, you guys should check out my online course, which is called Dark Game. It's a course that I developed specifically to help you apply strategies to attack these types of psychological vulnerabilities that women have. All right. It's a course specifically made to teach guys how to attract women in any situation. And I also teach you guys some dark strategies, which I do think is dark, but it's more so to help you guys understand human psychology through these strategies. But it's also to help you seduce the women that you like. And if you guys purchase it, you guys will get a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is pretty much the course that if you never had success with women, this is the course to get the ultimate success with women. So check it out. $99. It starts at $99 and it goes up to $197 depending on the package that you get. Purchase it now on the description down below where it says purchase dark game. So that's one thing. The next thing that women have is the social force, the next weakness. Women can sense trends a lot sooner than men do. And the reason why is because women are more tied up to the social network than men are. Women need each other more. And the reason why was this. One, women when we were hunter-gatherers, women usually socialized with their friends when men went out to hunt. And usually the men died more, the women survived longer. And as a result, the women just built more relationships. The women got better over time simply because they didn't die as much at building relationships. Guys had to deal with death a little bit more. And so their connections weren't as deep as women's are. And also because they had physical strength, they relied less on the social network to survive, right? And as a result, women just have more social opportunity than men do. And because of that, women are more influenced by by society because they know that all of the women in their past that survived simply because they got good at reading social cues and following the herd by blending in. And so one of the things about being highly sociable and being influenced by their peers a lot is that you're going to have a lot of desires that don't really come from you, because genuinely desire is a social construct. What's valuable is based on what other people find valuable. So women are very prone to fall for pre-selection, wherein he might not be an attractive person, but if other women are noticing him, she's going to want him simply because other women want him. It's like when people are looking up in the sky. You don't even know why they're looking up, but you look up because they're looking up. It's the same thing if a bunch of women are looking at a guy and want that guy, you may not know what the hell is in that guy, but you're going to want him just in case because other women want him. And so you want to understand that women want what other women want. That's pretty much the weakness that they have. It creates blind spots. Men are less influenced by money, but more on qualities that leads. Women are less influenced by money, essentially, right? Yeah, I said that women want resources, but they also want a man who has the potential to get a lot of resources. So action potential is as important as the action itself. So women are less influenced by the money, but more about the qualities that lead to success, since it's hard to notice who's rich or not, right? They also notice how other people react to that man. So if other people are reacting positively or highly or a little bit intimidated by that man, she's going to also react the same way, right? So women are influenced by what other women value and find attractive a lot more than men do. Men are pretty much isolated more than women are when it comes to what they like. They don't really need to look at what other men find attractive. Yes, they do to a certain point, but men are more, I like poom poom, I like big asses, big titties, that's all I want. Women will just look at other women and say, what kind of guy should I get? And so they'll look around. And so that's a big weakness because you don't know what you really like. You don't know what you really like. You don't know what you want in a man because you're just looking at other people. And along with that point, although society uses other women to tell you what you should look like, to tell you what other men find attractive. Society will tell you that being super skinny makes men find you more attractive, when in reality, men like average looking bodies. They've done studies. They don't like super slim girls. They don't like super big women. Studies have shown that they like average bodies and is actually healthy. Whatever is healthy is actually attractive. Not too skinny, not too fat. But these social media naturally lowers your self-esteem. so that you can want the attention from the super high famous guys, so that then the pool of men that you could be with lowers, and it gives an advantage to guys who have high status, you know. And it's also that something that guys use, and if you're a guy, you gotta use. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Like if you allow yourself to have this vulnerability in your psyche, then guys will use it, and it's on you to protect yourself against that. But it is something that is used. That is a kryptonite. Seeing other women, seeing guys and that's why a lot of women get fake boobs, fake asses, because they've been manipulated into doing that. Stop looking at other people. At the end of the video, I'm gonna show you how to not do that. Right? And so as a result, as a guy, what guys would do if he was smart, he would naturally just surround himself with women. You know, put himself around other women, where it'll give the illusion that other women want him. And that could potentially make a woman who genuinely wouldn't like you to like you. It's that simple, you know? And it's all because they're seeing other women want this person. And the reason why is because they're just being pre-approved. It's almost like if you see, and the reason why guys with girlfriends get more women is because other women see him and say, okay, she pretty much in a way almost, you know, he's been pre-approved. If she's with him, it means she kind of looked around in his life and realized he's not a fucking psycho. And so possibly she'll be with him simply because he's been pre-approved by other women. So other women seeing him will automatically make you think that, oh, wow, he is a special guy. Oh, wow, he is awesome. And so you'll give him traits that are not even there. And you won't really get to know the person, right? And that's what creates those blind spots. And that's what guys can use to get more women to like them, by simply surrounding themselves around women, even though those women don't want to bang them. It'll help, though. It does help if they're smiling at him, though. The next weakness that women have, other kryptonites, is other women. Other women are your kryptonite. Isn't that insane? Because other women will talk bad about you behind your back, call you a slut, lower your value in an attempt to raise their value. Chastity is the most important trait that men look for in a woman that's not physical. Because chastity says that you're not gonna be infidelity. You're not gonna have infidelity. The kid that I have will be yours, right? Because a man cares a lot to know that the child is his. And you say, oh, but you know, there is DNA tests. Well, no, back then there weren't no goddamn DNA, and back then people stayed in places where everyone looked the same. So imagine your girl from the Netherlands, and you're the Netherlands guy, 6 foot, white, blue eyes, bangs another dude 6 foot, white, blue eyes. How the fuck are you gonna know if that's your kid if he kind of looks like, if the man that she was with kind of looks like you? Now it's easy because now you have access to Tyrone and you're Becky the white girl, and you cheated on him with Bob the fucking electrician, and then comes out Jamal the baby. You know, and you're like, what the fuck? Why does he look like Jamal the baby? Why isn't he Bob the baby? You know what I'm saying? So infidelity was just harder to catch back then. And so what women did was to tell men, hey, look, if you're with her, she might cheat on you. So one of the ways to do that is just to call her a slut. Say you saw her at a brothel. Say that she gets paid for sex. It's hard to verify that kind of stuff, and it actually works. So other women are each other's weakness, essentially. And men are so oblivious to that, to be honest with you. Like a man would just be in a group of 10 women, and he'll think everyone is peaceful. But women are just eyeing each other, like giving each other the eye of death. And the guy thinks everything's happy when in reality there's like a secret war going on. You know, because women fight in subtle ways. Men get rerouted. And also the reason why other women are each other's kryptonite is because men get rerouted by new females all the time. Guys, literally, their eyes are wired to look at other women. Like literally, there's like hormones in their bodies that will literally tell them to look at women. Like literally, right? So it's a trait that they are willing. The reason why guys are always willing to get with any other women at any time is because it's a trait that evolutionarily over the long run has won out. The guys who were more willing to have sex in the moment right now, it doesn't matter what the fuck I'm doing, were able to pass on their gene compared to the men that said, no, I gotta finish this, let's do it later on. And so over millions of years, that trait was redefined to where we have it now, to the point where guys just cannot, where guys are wired to look for new women, unfortunately. And this is actually a trait in almost every mammal. It's not just with men. They're always willing to bang new females. It's the waning eye of men. The waning eye of men is an adaptive feature to pass on their gene as much as possible, you know? And the reason why is, so yeah, that's one thing, right? The next one is emotional. The next kryptonite the women have is emotional infidelity. A man's kryptonite is sexual infidelity because it says that it's a threat to him wasting his genes. In other words, he might be putting money in a woman that doesn't have his kids, and that pretty much makes him fail evolutionarily speaking. But to a woman, the equivalent of that is not sexual infidelity. To a woman, the equivalent of sexual infidelity is emotional infidelity, him loving another woman. So a guy will say, I'm sorry that I banged your friend, but I didn't love her. And a lot of women will actually buy that. And the reason why that is because having an emotional connection with another woman could threaten you losing your resources. But just having sex with a woman cannot threaten you losing your resources. But if he loves a woman who he's banging and has a kid with her, it could potentially make you lose some of your money, some of that alimony, girl. So you better watch out for Becky, the white girl, because she might take her. He might take her, right? So a woman don't mind if he doesn't have an emotional connection. What she minds is him not having an emotional connection. She'll be like, "Did you fuck him? But you didn't love her, right?" It's there for a reason, right? The next thing that is a woman's kryptonite is having too many options. Women need to choose eventually after a certain point, right? And the hardest part about choosing is choosing if you have a lot of options. It's not hard to choose when you don't have too many options. Well, maybe. This leads to men looking less appealing in their eyes when they have too many options, and harder to pick. When everything is the same level of attractiveness, or even when you have a lot of options and they're all attractive, you don't know what to pick. And in fact, the attractive guy around other attractive guys will look less attractive, you know? And the reason why is because of this. They've done studies where when a bar closes, and men, when a bar is about to close, men see women as more attractive. Like, you know, when you're at a bar and it's the last call for poom poom and everyone's like scrambling to find a partner, the time when a man will see you most attractive is when it's time to close, because he's looking for anything. And studies show that this happens because of lack of options. The increase of attraction happens because there's a lack of options. Men increase their attraction, which leads them to making a move, right? So he finds more women attractive, and so they make a move. This is why ugly women exist, right? Because men don't give a fuck when they don't have, I'm sorry to call it ugly, but when men don't have options, they'll end up marrying a woman who they don't generally don't find attractive, and now he finds attractive because he doesn't have a lot of options. So your options pretty much dictates your standards, right? So after casual sex, men who want casual sex partners see partners as less attractive or unappealing. But most women don't feel the same way if it's casual, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is this, is that when you have too many options, like most women do because of Instagram, you're just going to have a harder time picking a guy, which will waste more of your time, which will make you more frustrated because you can't find a guy that likes that meets your standards. And the reason why that you can't find a guy that meets your standards is because you're too fucking picky. You know, and you're not going to want to lower your standards, but unfortunately, that's part of life. That's your kryptonite. The next kryptonite is your age. A woman's age is her kryptonite, to be honest with you, because a man judges you when he's younger women, based on her fertility. As they get older, men judge women based on their beauty, and your beauty pretty much is how much you have adapted to your age. Did you keep yourself in shape? Did you keep yourself mentally, emotionally fit? You may not be as fertile as before, but are the other things there? That's what makes a woman beautiful. I should make a video about that. The next weakness that women have is their ears. That's actually a big one. Actually, I should have put that in the beginning. Women are easily manipulated by words more than men are. Men are manipulated by their visual. Women are manipulated by words. And the reason why is because women need to hear. Women have a need to believe a lot more than men do for some reason. 70% of cult members are women worldwide. They believe more in the mystical, and they believe more whenever you tell them what they want to hear. And unfortunately, when you're a woman and you want something real badly, that desire will pretty much be the filter that liars use to make it sound like truth. You need to lower that filter, and that filter is an emotional filter. You gotta lower your intense desire to find a relationship. You gotta be more patient, because that will make you more emotional. It'll hijack your brain into making bad decisions, and that means even though you're getting older, you want a stable relationship. You have to control your emotions, not slow down your search, but control your emotions. You have to control them, because when you have such an intense emotion to find a relationship, it'll cloud everything that you're doing, right? So you can't believe the lies that a guy tells you if he's been with you for 2 years, right? And the thing is that this is a perfect thing that guys use. Us guys, if I teach guys, because I do teach guys, is that just tell women what they want to hear, and they'll believe it. Even though they know you're lying to them, it's almost like there's something in their brains that says, I know he's lying, but I still want to believe it. It's like a guy, like a woman might be using him for his money, but deep down he knows it, but he still likes her because he likes what he sees, and anybody, actually, men or women, we do fall for this. It's just that women fall for it more, because a woman could promise you the poom poom, and you'll deal with bullshit, or because you want the poom poom because she told you she's gonna promise it to you, right? So you got to understand that almost all women deep down have a desire for a connection, a desire for a relationship, a desire for marriage. That's almost all women, mostly all women. And unfortunately, you can manipulate them by just saying that you could offer them that. They may find you unattractive, but if you're the only guy offering that, yeah, they might cheat on you with Tyrone, the personal trainer, but they'll give you that stable relationship that you might want and that she might want, But it's something that we just have to watch out for. All right, guys. So yeah, these are the weaknesses that women have. Now that you understand this, and also one thing that I forgot is women who want baby fever. If they're on baby fever and they want a kid, all you gotta do is just tell them that you want a kid. A lot of them will buy it, unfortunately. But if you guys ever notice these weaknesses in women, all you guys have to do is apply my strategies, right? But the reason why I made this video is because sometimes understanding why I tell you to do these things helps you guys actually do it. All right. So tailor your words, tailor everything that you're doing towards attacking those insecurities. And there's nothing wrong with attacking her insecurities, but also it's also good that once you attack her insecurities, make sure that she feels that you're the source of validation, which is the reason why I have this channel. I could teach you how to make her want your validation, to be honest with you. If you guys want me to make that video, tell me in the comment, and I'll make a video about how to make a woman want your validation. All right. Anyways, I hope this video made sense, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Take care. All right, guys. So I want you guys to check out my online course called Dark Game. That's right, people. Dark Game. And this course is pretty much, I review to you the secret tactics, the secret techniques to create attraction in almost any woman, right? But not just attraction to the point that makes her want to see you all the time, where she's the one initiating all the contact, right? Now just imagine to be able to keep all of the girls in your life that you lost because of your stupidity. Imagine, and I had stupidity too. Imagine being able to keep them. Imagine being able to have 5, 6 women available to you, wanting to see you. Imagine being able to create intense relationships where they're all doing all the work. People, that kind of stuff does exist, people. Now, I'm not going to promise you that you're going to bang like 40, 50 women. I'm going to promise you that you're going to be able to keep the women you have, that you get with. I can promise you that keeping them will increase with this course. But let me keep showing you something. This course is pretty huge, people. It's a huge course. This course has over 50 videos, right? And some of them you could get for free. If you just sign up, you get free videos, right? But in these videos, let me show you guys the course, right? All right, guys. Shit. That's me right there, right? In this video, I pretty much teach you guys how to find your purpose. right? All this is how to find your purpose, discovering your purpose, right? I teach you guys then about female psychology, all of the principles about female psychology you guys need to understand. I then teach you guys the mindset, the proper mindset that you guys need to deal with women. After that, I teach you guys 21 videos on how to game. I mean, it's pretty much unbelievable, man. I gotta make this available, right? But it's unbelievable how many I pretty much put everything: outer game, social circuit game, strategies, threesomes, foursomes, everything, right? And on top of that, I give you guys a few bonuses: how to overcome approach anxiety, why you can't take actions, a Dickens pattern to change your mentality, how to go from open to transitions, right? 81-minute long. People, this is like, I don't know how long this is, but this is hours, and I mean hours worth of content. And you get a 30-day money back guarantee. I mean, you without questions asked. All for $99, people. This could be around a few thousands, to be honest with you, right? But you guys get it for $99, right? All you gotta do is just go over here, purchase the course, and you'll get access to it. And if you don't like it, you could just message me and get your money back, people. Look, man, don't be hard-headed, people. Don't be hard-headed. This is the course that you guys need, right? It gives you guys everything. I cover everything. I could promise you, man, you're not gonna get a more in-depth course on how to attract women and keep them more than this. All right. Anyways, people, check it out. 30-day money back guarantee. There is no risk, and you can get the free course. You can get the free trial. The free trial are these videos that you get for free, right? You guys could just sign up. You could watch all of these videos for free, right? And you don't have to pay, all right? Anyways, I'll see you guys inside. I want to see you guys inside because, again, people, you can't lose nothing. There's a 30-day money back.